Alrighty then. Hello, everybody. It's the Quorum Show. I am doing the normal routine, setting up, passing out links. Let's see. Um, Tonight's main topic is time and space, how they don't really exist. And I am still getting the links and stuff. So, pre show warm up, making sure everything works. Everything works so far. Got one person in the chat or one person watching. James, what's up? Hello. So, pre-show warm up. Okay. Grabbing the link to the chat room. Going to normal Twitter and Facebook. 3 people. Oh, maybe just 2. Okay. I'm just passing out the link right now. I'm not even looking at the actual show yet. It's that. And I'll get to the chat link soon on Twitter and on Facebook. All right. Yeah, I'm also going to do like the weekend review of my personal weird stuff happening and personal weird stuff happening, Twitter, and time. The week was pretty good. Busy, worked. It was good. Got some car work done. I was happy about that. Okay, let's see. Now, let me read the chat. I'm reading the chat. Yeah. Yeah, time and space are constructs that we understand so we can relate reality. Hey, Mike Plot. Thanks, man. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm reading. Okay, now I am on YouTube. Well, started on YouTube. All right, everybody. Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, James, looking forward to consciousness raising times. Yeah, me too. I can't wait to break out of this damn frame of whatever it is. Dino beavers. All right. Now I am going to grab the chat link for everybody who wants it. And I bet everybody that comes in. Okay. Not like that. Okay. Here comes the chat link coming up. Shadow, you are always welcome to come in. Of course, you're with me here, bro. And James, of course. All right. Link is up. I'm going to. Is that the link? I hope that's the link. If somebody comes in, we'll know it's the link. Hey, Shingoji, what's up? Let's see. Okay, I'm going to turn off Facebook for the moment and just stick on you. Okay, it's not the link. Gotcha. I didn't think it was. It looked funny. Let's see. Okay, this one I believe is the correct one. Yeah, this one is. I don't know how I copied the YouTube link over here. I copied it over here, the YouTube link. Okay. Yeah, you too, James. I'm very happy that. Yeah, okay, Sarah, thanks. You killing me. You killing me. The link is in the chat. Let's see. I can copy the link here, and I can send it to. Well, that's the chat link. All right. Who's here? Shadow,
Good evening.
welcome aboard.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Good deal. Do I sound okay? Because you are loud and clear.
Yeah, fine. No worries, dude.
Okay. I listened to my show and I am like, this microphone could sound better. The best microphone I've ever used, Guitar Hero. Best one ever. It's like studio quality mic. Got somebody in. I think it's going to be James, maybe. Yes.
Let's hope so. Little guy's watching from downstairs. He might join us if that's cool.
Of course.
Oh, you look so different, man. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Whoa, you do look different.
I even was dressed up for the stream.
T-shirt, man. I no monkey suit tonight.
Well,
had a good week, guys.
Yeah.
Well, let it all go. Let it all go. You're here now.
Yeah,
you're here
exactly.
now.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm happy to be here, man.
Well, we're happy to have you. It's been a long week for everybody, but it wasn't a terrible week. It kind of went by fast, but I'm glad it's Saturday and get to hang out with you guys.
Well, it's a beautiful day today, that's for sure. I got my coffee here.
It went from 109 to 85 to 60 degrees at night in about a day. Yeah, we got incredibly extreme weather here, and I am done with the heat. And I actually had to put on a sweater today to go outside, and it's
Well, to paraphrase Morrissey, I like to spend warm, sunny days indoors.
Yeah. It's like I was saying the other day, when I hit 55, suddenly the heat just affected me. Last year, didn't bother me at all. I'd be outside all day, no problem. I hit 55, and suddenly I'm an old bastard.
Have you tried ice cold showers?
No.
They're very, very good for you.
I know. Especially dunking the head in ice cold water. Heard that's really good, but
yeah,
cold is actually like my arch enemy more so than heat. I've always had a huge problem with it, especially when I hurt my back. I can't even go in swimming pools unless it's like 400 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
You know who that
Hey,
is?
Jack.
Son.
Hello.
You ain't black, Jack.
Hey, Joe. Let's see.
That's my Doge.
Dog.
Shush. Come here, Philly. Come here.
I dream about pets so much. I have 2 dog dreams and a cat dream every week. I need to sort that out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any pets?
No.
Man.
Just the giant lizard in my yard that I tried to give a piece of ham to. He wasn't having it.
Just give him a nice big juicy bug. He'll be your best friend.
Yeah, well, I think he's been taking care of the spiders, so I appreciate his work, you know. But he's cool. He's like quite large, like it's a big Aussie lizard. You know, I'm like, cool, we get those out here. Nice.
Yeah, Obi-Wan rode one. I know the lizards you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like that. It's a little bit smaller, but yeah, it's in the ballpark.
That's crazy, man. We get lizards that are about what, Jackie? About a foot?
Yeah.
In the deep desert. That's about it.
Yeah,
That is
this guy's
including
about a foot. He's pretty big. He's pretty chunky though.
We also get
Okay,
squirrels.
welcome aboard,
coyotes.
everybody. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Wouldn't miss it. Cheers, everybody.
the water bottle.
Joe's your sound working
That's all
okay?
good.
It should be by now.
It is.
You are nice and clear. Yeah, good deal.
You do have a little bit of a delay though with the visual.
That's for you, Joe. Okay, yeah, I think he's going through some technical difficulties over there because he's freezing up.
Yeah, it's those glowies, man. They must be hot on his trail.
Oh boy. Tech check for Joe. He's muted. Okay. And you're muted. And you're still muted. Okay. He will sort that out. Anyway. Yeah, it's been a weird week. It's been a heck of a thing going on. Okay.
You can tell me that again.
Shadow, tell me what's weird.
Well, like weird coincidental things happening, you know, just little things that like sort of connect to something else that's not really connected, but you know, like the name or the title, you know, or the numbers are like just like sort of syncing up out there. I know the little guy had something go on this week. Didn't you?
Right.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Things are lining up.
Okay. Anything jump out at you? Something like any particular things?
Jack, you want to take this one?
Maybe.
Jack, go
Maybe.
for it. I want to hear. Tell me the weird.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. You're amongst friends, you know.
Yes, that is true. So it just pretty much every time. I wouldn't even call this weird. It just, I mean, I guess it ended up being weird, but it really shouldn't be. I mean, what happened in the end is kind of weird, but it shouldn't be. So what happened is I ride my bike to and from school, but whenever I'm riding from school, there's this one girl who goes on the exact same path that I do until like she turns a bit earlier while I continue going to get to my house. But I mean, we never really talk to each other at all because it's like kind of weird. But then, well, she ran into a car one time, and then I walked her home, and we talked for like 2 to 3, 4-ish hours.
Cool.
Nice.
Pretty much it.
So, well, it looks like the universe put y'all at a chance just to
Perhaps.
get to know
Sounds
each other.
Sounds like a nice start. You know,
That's what I was
Jack to
thinking.
the rescue.
You know,
I mean, so many people's story of getting together now is just like we met on the internet. I think when you hear about people who got together, even relatively young, and there's a bit of a tale behind it, it's nice to hear. You know.
Yeah.
we're all perfect examples, even though we all met online, except for Joe and Nathan here. You know, people. You know, the universe has a way of bringing people together. You know, come hell or high water.
Okay,
I kept
James,
kicking him out of
you're
the
up.
bookstore.
James,
That's a great
you're
place to
up.
meet people.
I'll throw some stuff at the canvas. Demonic possession is real. I know because I've been feeding certain demons inadvertently, and it's just put me more and more out of sync with the universe, and it's affected the way I communicate with people, especially over the last week. So I'm trying to kind of get back on track spiritually, if that makes sense.
Totally.
You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm not suggesting that I robbed any banks or murdered anybody, but I just,
That's why you
I don't
stayed
know,
there.
like,
Trying to be
I was
incognito, huh?
I was on a good streak of I don't know, maintaining a higher mindedness, and I kind of fell off my perch a little bit. So, you know, I'm in the doghouse.
You
at the
got on
moment.
your high horse, is what happened.
Maybe that's it. I mean, fate does have a way of humbling me when I get a bit too snoot-worthy.
Knocking
know?
you down a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Maybe I'm not going to complain because I think I kind of needed to see it. You know, needed to see the process. So I got a bit of soul work to do over the next couple of weeks, I think.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
you can reach out to any one of us anytime.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
we're all here for each other.
Yeah,
And,
it's just that it's more than anything, it's that Irish temper, you know?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, I'm here and I feel like I'm 38 today. I had a family thing on and I didn't want to go because I wasn't feeling too well. And
Is today your
I'm-
birthday?
Yeah, today's my birthday. I'm really
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a bunch of Virgos and Libras.
Yeah, well, I noticed that. I mean, I don't know much about that stuff, but I noticed that a lot of role players seem to be September babies, which explains why they like want to argue minutiae all the time. Like, you know, like very detail-oriented people. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nerds.
Oh, I'm
basically.
Taurus,
Okay.
but
That's right. That's why we get along. Supposedly.
Okay, Joe, just give me at least just keep it simple for us. Weirdness of the week, just this week.
Oh, I haven't
Okay.
really had any weirdness, but you know how I told you before that oftentimes I was given a chassis and no schematic and
Yes.
told to repair it. Somebody brought me in a radio from Hong Kong, 1961 radio. One of their first transistors radios. 5 components burnt smack out of the system, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll just look at the schematic. No can find. Going to have to bring up my old skills in order to be able to repair this thing.
There has got to be something weird of all of us. Me and you are tip-top weirdness. It's just so normal for us now. Dig deep.
Yeah, well, go on to other people. I'll think about it. But
I'm the last one. Okay, let me tell you my weekend weird. I've had, well, the floodgates are open. They're still open. They haven't closed. Okay. Normal side, I got my oil changed. That's cool. Did 2 videos in the car while I waited. They're on my channel right now.
So,
Go ahead.
oh, I watched them. You know that though.
Oh yeah. But okay, something happened yesterday. This was so funny. Okay, I know I'm gonna sound like just going on and on, but this spirit guide stuff is just totally just going all the way out, and it's dialed all the way up to, because this is, I've never. Yesterday, well, a few days ago, I was watching this channel called Metapsychics, and these 2 20-something psychic girls were talking about the catacombs, and they were like, well, we'll just explore the catacombs psychically. And it's like, cool. Okay. I am like, oh, this is really interesting. Spirit guide comes up to me and says, do not go to the catacombs. Like, I'm like, okay, no, I won't be going. And yesterday, that's tipped me off about the YouTube stuff with her, right? But then I was just watching something with it, right? And I actually had the opportunity to take the video. I don't know why I did it, but I put a chair next to me for her to sit in as if she needs it, right? She's right there, just observing. And yeah, people think I'm crazy. I'm already catching hate for it, but that's okay. I don't even care. Let the trolls come on, bring it. And I was like, yeah, this is weird. And okay, I let the video play. She was apparently into it. We're commenting back and forth. I am always drinking water, so I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go in the bathroom and I notice, oh wow, she's not with me. This is weird. And I hear in my head, I can still hear you.
Well,
I love it. Go ahead.
it would be kind of weird if she did follow you into the bathroom.
If
Don't
she
you think?
did? Oh,
If she
you know
followed
what?
you into the bathroom.
Here's how weird it is. How weird is it? How weird and creepy and is it for us to take our dogs on walks? We are not equal, okay? And she reminds me of that as needed. We are not equals. She is a spiritual ascended being, and I am reminded of it as needed. So I had this conversation too. I had this conversation with somebody, and yeah, would it be creepy and weird? Maybe, if she was an equal, and if her criteria was the same as mine, a human monkey brain walking around on Earth. It is not the same. So yeah, her perspective is so different. I can't hold it against her if she wants to accompany me at all times, because it is really the Shadow. Are you frozen? No, you're not frozen. You're just okay.
No, I'm just painting.
Okay, I wasn't used to that particular angle, but anyway.
Yeah, I hate wearing these, but when I'm painting, I got to.
No, I wasn't talking about your glasses. I was talking about that very still.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm not.
You're
not,
leaning
not,
in, and I was like,
not enough, man. No, I'm good.
Okay, but that's what was going on with the spirit guide stuff, and I made a little video, and people are hating on it. I'm like, I don't care.
I watched it. I thought, my first thought was like a lot of people might ask how, and my tendency is to sort of more ask like, why not? Like I said previously when this topic first came up, I think if it was a negative influence, it would be more of an issue. But I think that you're just possibly hyper aware that consciousness is something that's present in our reality and it's around you, and that it wants you to succeed and do well. Like I get the sense that you feel like there's a nurturing force out there somewhere that's kind of helping you along through this stage of your life, and I don't see that as a bad thing at all. Like,
I don't see this as a bad thing at all. Welcome aboard, Connell.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, Connell.
I was just gonna make a game reference. I was just gonna make a game reference. I don't know if Joe's a gamer or not, but I think every one of us here otherwise has played some D&D or something. And when you're talking about your thing going on, and it just reminds me of, how in a D&D game, you got a party, a group of people they all have different skills and abilities and talents and all those things, and that's what makes a good party. You got your fighter, you got your rogue, you got your magic user, you got your priest, or whatever mix of the 4 food groups we call it. That come together for whatever reason. Your Fantastic Four. You got your smart guy, you got your fire guy, you got the girl for sneaking and stuff, and then you got, who am I missing? A strong guy. So that's just how I see it. We've just got our own abilities and talents and unique perspectives that we bring to the table, and then we got my son, who's the new guy. I wasn't messing with you, sport. We got the new guy who gets to learn from all of us and sort of, pick which direction he wants to go. Right now he's got 5 guys who've done all kinds of different stuff and seen all kinds of different things and have different perspectives, even beliefs, and he gets to pick, maybe a little bit from each one of us. Pick me.
Don't
do a trade. Don't do a trade. That's all I have to say. It'll wreck your body.
Don't pick Uncle Connell. I
think I'm already pretty set.
I mean,
just take that
you guys
one
see what I
piece
mean,
of
though?
advice. That's enough.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though? We all bring something different here. I don't know everybody, as well as I like to think I do, from Joe to Connell, James, Nathan. We've all only known each other, X amounts of moments. But, all of those moments I wouldn't trade for anything. And, who knows where it's going to lead and what we're each going to pick up from each other. Right?
Yeah, and Connell came in at the perfect time.
I don't know about Connell. No, it would be the same without you guys, each and every one of you. And I look forward to, every Saturday to see what, new little tidbit you add to the equation.
Yeah, it's still a forming picture, right? Do you get any, I know you're a pagan. Do you get any, ancestor kind of vibes from this presence or anything like that?
Not my ancestors, but she's definitely historical. I haven't figured out exactly what yet. I play around and I tell myself it's Xena Warrior Princess, but it isn't. It really isn't. But
right.
But that's how she comes across. And I'm getting a more clear picture every time as time goes by. I'm still new to this. But Connell, tell us your week in weird stuff that happened.
well, okay. I'm gonna have to start with earmuffs.
Do you really have a right there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start with earmuffs. Last night, I've been getting up incredibly early, having gone to work incredibly early, and going to bed earlier than I've ever really wanted to in my entire life. I went to bed last night, and I had a dream about a person I'm romantically interested. It was, it wasn't in seat 17, but we're at the park, we're doing something, and I wake up to at the door. There she is. And, at first I'm thinking I'm asleep. Ha, nice. Thank you. A dream within a dream. Fuck off. But no, she was really there. So, and things happened, fade in black. And it was just, I've never had the situation where I've had dreams that are like prophetic, where it could happen, it has happened down the road, or aspects of it, little deja vu scenarios have happened, but I've never had one that was that close. You could put a stopwatch on it, where I dreamt about it and it happened.
Okay.
I also, which is really weird, is I dream in color. I'm colorblind, but I dream in color. The only dreams I dream in color tend to come true.
That's pretty amazing.
Okay, well,
That's bizarre.
remember those. Remember and bring them here. Okay.
Yeah. No, I
Remember,
get you.
because that's totally paranormal. So you got one
I
foot in
would
the
have to agree.
paranormal, and you just haven't been telling anybody.
Well, you tell the right people, they fit you up for a nice little white jacket. And yes, I could pop my arm out joint like Mel Gibson, but it hurts like a mother.
Yeah, I don't really see why you never
Okay.
really want to.
No, if
Yes.
you're in a straight jacket, right? If you pop your arm out of joint, it disrupts the
Oh.
coke and you can struggle out.
No.
Okay. I had to remember the reference. My bad. Yeah.
I get it now.
Hey, you
I'm
know,
sure it
my
hurts.
son and I we were talking before the show.
Go
How my
figure.
son. What were you saying, Sport, about pagan?
Oh yes, I was saying how. Well, first off, considering I'm an integralist, it's kind of weird. But more importantly, how I never thought I'd ever meet somebody who's pagan, and then like this month, I've met like 10.
Jesus. That must be an interesting thought. Then again, you're young. Because there's been certain points of my life where I can't throw a cat without hitting one.
Yeah.
It must, I don't know. I think the circles I run around are a little bit more,
Pagan friendly?
yeah. I've never enjoyed that term. I think there should be a better term. I never liked the term pagan, but that's a whole different subject.
Yeah. Well, it's just.
Oh, would you rather call us witch?
No, I don't like
Heathen?
that one. I'd rather use a term from Jim Butcher and call you guys practitioners. But pagan is the most candy bar term out there. Everybody knows it.
I have never ever been called candy bar. Of
Well, I don't
all
mean anything
terms,
offensive by it, but it's
ever.
the most. Everybody knows what a candy bar is. So if you say I'm a pagan, everybody knows what pagan is. And I don't like that term. It's historically not accurate.
I used to meet a lot of pagans when I was kind of playing music, and they probably didn't really sell me on the idea, because it's a pretty broad church, like any kind of belief set. But later on in life, or more recently, I've met people who are pagan who are quite cool and like seem quite tuned in, and they're just interested in kind of keeping their ancestors' memory going, and being in touch with the kind of Bronze Age European or Bronze Age Mediterranean culture. I can vibe on that.
It's no, and I get my biological dad is technically a priest of Odin, so take that for wherever you want to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you didn't know who he was.
I do. I just never met him in person.
Oh.
But granted, I do still put up Father Day's cards at a gas station. The off chance he comes back with my bag of cigarettes.
Did you watch American Gods, the TV show?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have thought that if anyone has, you would have. Okay.
I read the book too in college.
No, I read it too. I read it a few times.
Mr. Wednesday is my favorite character. He's a dick, but I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see? You saw the TV show? Oh my God, Shane Black. Shane Black. Whoever played Mr. Wednesday did it to the key. That and Matt Sweeney. Those were my two favorite characters in the show.
Love Matt Sweeney.
Connell, I've been following your instructions and watching Lord of the Rings. I've taken one for the team, so to speak.
The
Ring of Power. Yeah, I'm a few episodes in so far. I feel like if they had just done something else, like with the same resources and the same broad plot line, and not made it Lord of the Rings, it probably would have resonated a little bit better.
It'd be a great show. Just take away the title.
Yeah. Maybe change some of the details, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it kind of drags a bit, and it makes me a little bit sad that it cost as much as it did, because I'm like, that's a lot of money. I mean, you could do a lot with, you know, you could help a lot of people with like the money from one episode, and I don't know, they kind of just look like they
It seems like
got their outfits at Costco kind of thing. They do this weird thing where like all the dudes have like this weird crinolate, like this weird shirt material that makes it look like they have boobs.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's just really bad. Like, you know, the orcs are like living in a big ditch. It's kind of funny. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, Connell. I think I might have to.
It's fine. I
think I might have to give it a rest.
I don't blame you. I watch since I've been doing this show. I can't, and I love you all. I really do, but I can't watch Ancient Alien History on History Channel without drinking. I almost need a bottle of whiskey next to me just to get through the first 5 minutes of it.
That's entirely understandable.
But
Chariots of the Gods, Connell, not for you.
Oh Jesus! I mean, I
love those books. I absolutely love those books.
Don't
My
get
old
me
man,
wrong.
I found the first one, the first Chariots of the Gods, in my dad's. You know, he had a bunch of boxes of books in the closet because he moved on to new books, so he just boxed them up and put them in the closet. And I found that one, and some other books that I still have to this day, which makes them over 50 years old, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. And
well, Von Daniken he's a little bit of a showman. He's kind of selling the idea, but
well, he got to start working in hotels as like the I forget what they call it, but the head manager or whatever. I think they had a different name for it back then. Of the hotels, and I'm like, he gets so much shit for asking a bunch of freaking questions. His first book, it was everything. Every sentence had a question after it, a question mark after it. It's just nonstop questions.
Like, and it's interesting. It's like there are gaps in the archaeology anyway. It's not perfect. I mean, a lot of things, a lot of truthers don't realize a lot of this stuff is quite well documented if you are looking for it, but there are still gaps of like centuries. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There is. They just found a tooth. God, I just remember reading about this. They just found a human tooth that predates the time that they thought were originally human species were on the planet. It sets the marker back way back. I mean,
1.8 million years. Yeah, I remember. 1.8 million years.
Yeah,
that's
modern
pretty
human
far back, guys.
That's very
far back.
Oh, I like your avatar, Jack. That's deep.
Thank you.
I was sort of thinking about the conversation. I'm more. It's not that I'm more comfortable one way or the other. Yes, I believe in aliens. Yes, I believe that there is intelligent life out there. The reason why it hasn't showed up here or made itself known is because it has yet to find intelligent life form here. But that's just a bad joke.
Well, one,
about
there are none. Two, the idea that we are so important that they're gonna find us, I don't believe. I don't think they care about us. If they found us, they don't care, and that's if they have found us at all. Maybe they've scanned.
What about John Lithgow? Wasn't he one of the scouts? Wasn't John Lithgow one of the scout aliens? They must have thought there was something worth investigating.
I'm pretty certain he's never seen that show to get that reference.
Which one's that?
Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, right, yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Everything on Earth is one of the rarest, or a part of the rarest things in the cosmos.
How can we possibly know
oxygen,
that?
No. I mean, not to be argumentative, no, there's nothing incredibly special about Earth. Everything that you find on Earth is made elsewhere. It's the basic soup everywhere. And that's going
Nope.
by what astronologists and people who understand space have been saying for the last 20 years.
Nope.
Maybe at the level,
wrong.
maybe at the level of the hydrogen molecule, Connell, but
Nope. And Nathan
not,
knows where I'm going.
Yeah,
Nathan knows where I'm going.
not.
I can prove you wrong right now. Watch this, guys. Only Earth.
We have a
has
new word.
you.
We have a new word, astronologists.
Yeah.
Only Earth has you, Connell.
No, trust
They
me.
use
There's idiots all over space.
technology.
There's idiots all over space. I'm not original in that thought processing.
They're using space trick. They're
But
using space.
you are
technology.
now our astronologist.
Astronologist.
Yeah, I like it.
I can't. Yeah, I can't talk today.
Astronaut.
Of all the things you've been called on stream, Connell, I think that's probably one of the better ones.
I'm an idiot. No, I call myself that all the time. It's not always.
No,
So an
that's
astronaut-
Oh no, we're calling you the astronologist. We're not calling you an idiot. You are astronologist.
Even maybe it's a sub definition.
Mm.
Okay, as far as life here being like, okay, and not being found, Jack, this one's right back at you. Have you watched any ufology things? The sightings, the abductions, the reports, all of that stuff.
Oh no, I have. If you remember, I have had things which I believe to be sightings with aliens. I'm
Right.
just saying that first, the idea that we are this special thing doesn't make sense.
Well, the fact, okay, I will bring up Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Here we go. Our astronologist just perked up. I said Doctor Who.
Been watching that show
In-
since I was like
what
younger than Jack.
Yeah, what did he say? In 900 years, I've never met anyone not important. That's us.
Humans,
You just said it.
The human species, as far as we know, are the only creatures that we know of that has the divine spark, a soul. Yet we have yet to meet any other creatures out in the universe or anything that can be nailed. I don't want to use the term nailed down because that's weird. To be, studied from the never, the other side. No one's pulled up like, well, this is an elf, this is a gnome, this is a leprechaun. We think these things exist, but no one's actually showed us physical proof other than lore.
Well, here's the main reason why that's going to be so absolutely devastatingly hard to ever find or prove, because there's this thing called the government, and they would
No,
kill.
you're back at it again with your libertarian nonsense.
They would kill to keep us from ever to keep us from ever knowing such things were true until they deem it okay. They would do anything to keep that out of the public knowledge.
Well, I could also venture another theory, which is a little bit.
How are they keeping it out of public knowledge?
It doesn't necessarily negate what you're saying either, Shadow, is that when people are requesting physical proof, they're talking about things that exist in our 3 dimensions.
Okay.
The inference being that, just based purely on the movements of, within some of this footage, is it possible that these creatures are not physical beings in the organic sense? Could they be projections from another universe? Could aliens actually be demonic entities as we know them throughout our history?
To be honest, I think all of it's true. I think there's so many of them that every one of those are a possibility, if not a likelihood. Going from, for example, the Hindu Indians, they believe that there are 400,000 different intelligent species out there.
Mm-hmm.
You take 400,000, they're not all going to be, flesh and blood, humanoid. They could be energy. They could be demons. They could be all kinds of different things. Silicon life, just all kinds of crazy crap.
Because in sort of esoteric Christian circles, there's a whole thing tied up with, when aliens come, they'll kind of be embraced and so on, but they're actually a demonic presence. They're not what they're presenting as.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I've heard that, but when you've dealt with them, they're not that evil. In fact, the thing is, they can't attack Earth. You wonder why they haven't done it. They can't. I can't go into more specifics than that, but they can't do it.
I think there might be some kind of consciousness that the Earth has itself. I think that humanity kind of possibly projects a kind of unified psychic presence that might give them pause. But I agree. I don't think necessarily all of them would be malicious. I mean, consciousness spreads throughout the universe. That's, we see that. Like, we see that now, even with the kind of options that are on the table with transhumanism and that sort of thing. I mean, I consider a lot of those things to be kind of nightmare scenarios. But regardless, it is that intellect kind of pushing itself into new forms and new spaces. And, I think it's probable that some of them are quite friendly. At least I hope so, because I want a cat girl alien friend.
I'm still looking for the
Mouse
show.
right over the Leave Studio button.
I mean, I kind of still waiting for them to show up from Planet 8. Bonsai. Was that
Buckaroo
show?
Banzai?
Yeah, yeah. Buckeye Banzai. Have anybody seen it?
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah. It's a wild. It has Jeff Goldblum.
It also has John Lithgow in it.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah,
Big
it
D Take.
does. Oh my God.
Well, like I said, with the 400,000 different species, or whatever you want to call them, with that, let's just say there's 4,000. Let's really knock it down a bit, okay? You have 4,000 different species. You have 4,000 different motivations, 4,000 different points of references and opinions and racial goals, as it were. It's quite staggering to think of all the different kinds of things that could be going on.
Well, really, the way we could determine if an alien was good or evil is to study their culture. If we knew what their culture was, we'd be able to know the traditions and what they value. If we don't know
good and evil.
Good and
I
evil?
volunteer to be an alien anthropologist.
That would be cool.
Yeah, bring me up.
That sounds like a cool job, but I have other things I want to do.
Compress the time.
How do you decide what's evil based on?
Yeah.
How do you decide what's evil based on our experience?
Well, there are some things that all of us should be able to agree are evil. I mean,
Because-
it
Like
really
what?
comes down.
Doing harm
Like
to
murder?
intelligent life.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think-
murder, slavery, rape.
There you go.
Yeah. What did we do to the American Indians? I mean, was that evil?
Well, yeah,
I
we
mean,
did. Yeah, but we kind of tried to move past that and be better,
Yeah,
haven't we?
We did.
I
We
don't
did what
think
they were
anybody-
doing to each other more efficiently.
Oh yeah.
well, that is true.
I mean,
Yeah, I think there's some universal things we could,
we
you
brought
know,
disease.
right? Well, we didn't even know what disease was.
oh,
You know,
we,
I
had
mean,
a good
we had
idea.
an idea. You know, we had an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we
yeah,
had
yeah,
how
you know what I
many
mean?
plagues?
The first guy
Yeah.
who brought up germ theory was the 12th, 13th century, somewhere between those two. But the problem is that he made a really unconvincing argument, and nobody believed him until hundreds of years later.
Yeah, but I think we can all agree there are certain things that even they would have to agree on that are not okay.
Let's take it. Let's say we get visited by an alien that is more or less not vegan, but vegan in a sense. We commit wholesale murder every day of the week, multiple billions of times when it comes to cows, chicken, and other things that we eat. Plants.
That's a load of crap. We've got literally thousands of species on this planet that have to eat meat. They can go get fucked if they don't like us eating meat. They can move on to the next solar system.
I am
and
just
look
saying,
over there.
if you want to bring up good and evil, that's a story at best.
Is a cat evil because he eats a mouse? No, that's what he has to eat. As a species, we have to eat meat.
There are not thousands, but there are several people. There are probably thousands of people. I don't actually know the number, but there is a large deal of people out there that prove that you do not need meat to live a healthy life. Mm-hmm. We choose to eat meat because of whatever reason, but it has been proven that we do not need to.
We wouldn't be the species that we are if we didn't eat meat and cook it over a fire. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
But you said we want to move on as a species.
Brain development.
Well, moving on as a species would probably qualify as not committing wholesale murder on a creature that cannot defend itself.
So they're going to take out the lions and the tigers and the bears?
We are not lions. Hold on. We are not lions. We're not tigers. And we're not bears. Oh my! Since we are at the top of the food chain, we think we are smarter. Well, not we as in this panel, but as a species, we think we are smarter than every other thing on this planet. We are the top dog.
Because it's true.
Connell.
No, I think diseases.
You have the inherent liberal nihilism of a younger me, and it breaks my heart. No, I'm joking. Look into permaculture, dude. There are ways of like farming and farming meat that actually like are really good for the soil. Feedlot stuff and factory farming. That sucks. That really sucks. I'd love to see that in tomorrow. I would happily give up some meat to see that in tomoror. But
they are making meat now without using animals.
Maybe efficient, but
go look at what
factory farming may be efficient, but that doesn't mean it's moral. We can all agree on that.
No, it's not, and it's not particularly hygienic or healthy either.
Yeah.
But if you look at there was a farm in South Australia called Tarwin Park, where the guy just basically mixed all of his crops together. Left all the logs and stones unturned, let his cattle run all over the place and poo all over the place and eat whatever grass was growing wherever, and just kind of degridded the whole farm thing. And he got such a good crop yield. The soil was really rich. The quality of the meat went up. He was able to do more with the space, and he was pushing heaps of people to look into this permaculture thing a bit more. He even wrote to our agricultural political party. Of course, they ignored him.
The Greens?
No, the National Party. They're like the Farmers' Party.
Oh, the National
Party. They're really more of a foreign investors' party at this point. But
I only know the bare minimum of Australian.
I'm waiting for you to drop the other shoe. What horrible thing went wrong?
Nothing went wrong. It was just it was amazingly successful demonstration that you can turn a farm into a carbon sink rather than a net producer of carbon. You can basically make it so that it's cleaning the air rather than and enriching the soil. You just kind of need to degrid the farm and let the cattle kind of run where they may, sort of thing.
Yeah, just like how, most people know that hunting is a good way to get food. It's just nobody wants to go out and shoot the deer and cook it because everybody.
This wasn't very labor intensive though, because he was leaving a lot of stuff as it was. He was like, you see these logs, like all the pests and things that take up life in these logs, they're enriching the soil.
Yeah.
There's a natural ecosystem here that I'm going to plant alongside and with
you don't want to spray
and kind of harness rather than, just stripping the ground and then spraying it with chemicals and then seeding it,
I've been a soft advocate for releasing wasps into your farms if you really want to get rid of the bugs.
Yeah, with wasps are asshole. They have a chance of getting rid of you too.
They do want to get rid of you too. That is true.
Yeah, they're a little bit antisocial.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Then you got murder. What was that? Murder wasp that
Well,
showed
murder
up.
hornets. You don't want to release murder hornets into your farm. That'd be stupid.
Murder
You know,
wasp, is that like an
they don't bother
invertebrate
people that
raccoon or
much.
something?
Murder hornets are just like big wasps, pretty much.
Yo, we're the murder wasps.
Well, you know what
They
a hornet
bother
is.
bees, though.
It's just a big one, a specific type. Apparently, they were everywhere in 2020, and people were talking about how they were gonna like swarm over the country and eat everybody. I don't know. I don't remember it. It's just a big bug, big yellow
That
bug.
was I
The
used to
president ordered them. He actually ordered them from Jack Ma. He was like, I'm going to need a whole heap of wasps. I'm going to deliver them all over the USA.
That sounds like a mix between generic American politician and Obama
And Elvis.
and Elvis. True.
Oh, you know, God, I was watching this. This guy was going around interviewing a bunch of people. It was 9/11, and it was September 9/11. This guy was going interviewing people to see what their feelings are on everything. And this guy's like, I hate Biden because Biden was in office and he didn't do anything. I'm like, wait, what? So this guy was accusing President Biden of not doing anything during 9/11 because he was in office.
Obama or Biden?
Well, he was only a senator.
It's just like, wait, I hit pause and I rewind back to make sure I heard what this guy said, but he was blaming Obama, who he thinks was the sitting president during 9/11 when the towers
I
hit.
thought you said Biden.
All I have
You
to say
said
about
Biden.
all I have to say about 9/11 and presidents is Lucky Larry, ladies and gentlemen, Lucky Larry Silverstein. Lucky Larry, he took a day off work. Oh, he collected the big insurance check, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody like Lucky Larry.
But yeah, no, this guy was going after, I'm sorry, Obama and Biden are the same person in my head for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Probably because
Because they are.
The Biden
Yeah.
presidency is just.
But yeah, this
Obama.
guy was going after
Biden is a puppet.
Yeah.
Oh,
This guy was going after former President Obama, who was a sitting president, his thought processing, because he didn't do anything during 9/11. I'm like, that was Bush Jr., right? I actually had to stop and think about it for a hot second. I'm like, that was Jr., right?
I was a young senator in Illinois.
Actually, Obama was still in Hawaii during 9/11.
No,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Did they parachute him into
Yeah,
the
I
seat kind of thing?
I just
Like they do that here with certain sectors. They'll parachute a politician into the area. And he's never lived there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've been a local guy for years." Yeah.
Well, the American politics state, and I'm sorry, I'll make this real quick, Nathan. I promise I'll leave it alone. It's just bizarreness. That was my bizarreness for the week. American politics states if you live in a state longer than 6 months, you can put your name on the ballot for any election because you are a resident past 6 months. That's how Obama did Chicago. Anyways, I'm done. We can move on.
Before we move on, I don't know if I've told any of you this, but Obamianism.
How did it become an ism?
That's where everybody has a low paying
I don't know. I don't remember where I
moving a
heard
bus
that,
from
but I'll
one
never
room
forget.
to another.
I'm confused. How did it become an ism?
I don't remember.
Anyway, I'm waiting for Nathan to go, okay, that's quantum. Moving back to
Yeah, I'm
so
looking for an
why-
opening over here. I'm like trying to what is going on here?
You've been taken over.
It's the demon, dude. Like I'm just 100% static now, and I need
So
to.
aliens were if aliens going back to the whole aliens are demons, or humans thought aliens were demons. Then what the fuck was a genie? Just a
genie?
really powerful, just a really technically powered alien that lived in a small craft that could fit in your hand.
Well, what is the genie? What is the TARDIS?
Oh, That's-
Genie was a gula. And then we have to explain that.
All right, I'm just curious. I mean,
Just
Why were there two Darrens in Bewitched? What's that about?
Okay.
no.
Yeah, they had to switch Darrens.
Okay.
Darren number 1 is malfunctioning. Replace him with the Darren clone.
I was
Who
more
did
of
a better job of
IJG.
playing the part?
Yeah. It was sad that we had to destroy Darren 1, but he went berserk in the workshop.
Okay. Anyway, main headline time. In the
Time.
quantum relevance time.
I just wasted a lot of it.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
good.
That reminded me of my weirdness.
Go ahead.
See?
Go ahead.
Okay, had a 8-point match just the other day, and I made the first point, and I turned around just at the wrong time because here comes his foot right in my face. And I kind of blink, and all of a sudden, Master Han is saying, that's the end. And I'm going, I don't understand. And it was 6-2 in my favor.
Well,
The
well.
time in between is missing.
Missing time.
Yeah,
Did you have
because
anything on your face from his foot?
Oh, I had my I did have my teeth protector, which I don't really need because I don't have any teeth left. But
Oh, mouth guard.
yeah,
No, I
And,
mean, was there any? Okay, so you had, you saw his foot coming at you, and then
yeah, it was a nice round
match
kick.
over?
I mean, yeah. From then on, I didn't see anything, and then next thing I know, the match is over. I'm going,
And you won?
yeah,
That's cool. I mean, that came out bad. I'm sorry. I did not mean it before it came out. It did. Well,
we get
hey,
it.
that's exactly what I was thinking. I won.
I come from a boxing background, and there's times where I was like mentally just not there because I just got, the pud kicked out of me and muscle memory kicks in. Could that have been the answer?
Oh, that could have been the answer for sure, because, except for a few years when I was running the bookstore, I've always been in martial arts.
What style, if I may ask?
Just MMA.
Oh, Jesus. Just.
I know. Right?
Just.
How do we wreck somebody? We take M&A. But why? Because it wrecks everybody.
Because
Ladder.
they never know what style I'm using next.
I'm an old school boxer. My instructor was a big fan of you toe the line. You M&A guys scared the ever living fuck out of me.
I shouldn't. I do a good job of beating myself up most of the time.
But time. There was an interesting thing I read. I still love reading Hawkins. I do it to torture myself because there's a lot of it I don't understand, and I'm still piecing it together in my head. So making for understanding. I think if you find something you don't understand, you keep reading about it until you get it. That is one of the better ways of learning, in my opinion.
No, try teaching it.
I can barely talk. I come up with new words every time I'm on Nathan's show. So yeah, no teaching for me.
Right, just the astrologist.
Astrology.
We're gonna have to put that right up there with the tricknology for DM James.
So we're back to time, right?
So, yeah, the time. But the Hawkins had a theory of time. Hawkins' theory of time was as long as the universe expands, as time will continue going one direction. But the moment it stops and starts going the other way, time will start moving the opposite direction. He used a teacup. You know, he knocked a teacup off of the. Was that? Yeah, it was him. Knocked a teacup off of something, and it falls and cracks. And it's like that is time moving forward. But if it ever stops and starts moving the other direction, the teacup will float back up and not be cracked or not break.
Well, from appearances right now, it doesn't appear that time will ever go back. We will slowly disperse throughout whatever is out there beyond the universe.
Oh yeah, I don't see our universe ever stop expanding. Yeah.
Well, what do you think of the idea that time is a function of gravity?
No.
That makes sense with the event and writing with the black holes. The closer you get to the hole itself, time slows down, if not stops.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. There's a whole lot more time than there are black holes.
That we know of.
So I'm thinking that they're not codependent, that they're separate things. While one can affect the other, I don't think one causes the other.
No, that's probably fair. That might be just, the universe's way of, I need to send in the maid to clean shit up. I'm putting a black hole in there.
If you do like Mark III or Mark II in a plane, and you take an atomic clock up there, and you just fly a regular plane like from the same starting point roughly, like there is a slight time difference when the plane comes back down. They discovered.
Okay, I'm going to upgrade that with, it wasn't a plane, it was the space station and the space shuttle. They did that with the space shuttle and the space. Yeah, no, I don't think it was a plane going Mach anything. It was beyond that. It was the space shuttle noticed there was an error, and then the space station started experimenting with it later on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Nathan.
Yeah.
I agree with you and disagree with you at the same time.
It's quantum.
Because in my experience, I remember two jet airplanes. They were before I believe they were 707s. They had them fly opposite directions and come back and land at the same airport, and their time was different. And that was long before the space shuttle. But I agree that the space shuttle experienced the same thing.
Okay. I don't remember reading about that one, but okay.
I think they just had complications.
I think my anecdote
the clocks were wrong.
A little bit vague. Yeah.
Yeah, and aren't they always correcting for that stuff on the space station now? They have to keep an eye on that stuff now?
Yes.
I remember hearing a follow-up on that.
Correct here on the planet.
That is if you believe in the space station.
We're losing time on the planet.
No, I'm serious. I've seen some footage from up there that looks very strange. Like, it's just glitching and stuff, but it makes it kind of look a bit fake. Like, and the training pool that they do their like spacesuit dives in, like it looks virtually identical to like it looks like a set, and it's pretty much functionally identical to the ISS. So you see footage of that and you're like, wow, is this even real? What's going on?
I like to think
Russia
that
the other countries would agree.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it, isn't it? That's the deal breaker. But there's footage of like scientists aboard, and they're wearing like a little wire tether, right? And it just looks it looks strange, right? It's like, why are they wearing a wire tether? I mean, they're wearing it for an obvious reason, right?
but I can see how the little kind of conspiracy theories kind of sprung up around it. Because even in some of the shots, like the glitching is so bad on the transmission, the guy's arm passes through the other guy, so it looks like completely animated.
I haven't seen these.
Yeah, it's worth looking into. I mean, it's like being totally taken by the kind of flat Earth dudes, and they're like, "Oh, this is another part of it." But I'll look at anything if it's kind of quirky enough.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
And I'm going to sound like an idiot for this one. I've never been much of a space guy. I don't think, what I think my personal opinions on space and space travel is not irrelevant in this conversation. My ignorance might be showing, though, here yet again. Have we seen the entire 360 of the moon? Or is it just...
Yeah. Yeah, we have seen it.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading somewhere or somebody saying something that there is a side of the moon that we're not being able to see, the dark side of the moon, because of the way the Earth and all this. But the guy could have been full of shit, and I misheard him.
Well, we can see the moon slightly tilt.
He's correct from
and
the planet.
It is spinning. Yes, the moon is spinning, but to us, we don't see it spinning. We see it kind of tilt and move around a bit, like we see it wobble around. But from Earth, we can't see but one side. But of course, we can find a way to see what the other side looks like. We've seen the other side of the moon.
Yeah, the moon is very, very well mapped. Like, all the trenches, craters, and stuff like that.
So there's not Transformers up there? No Transformers?
Well, we have. That would be awesome, but I don't think we're being told much about the moon. I mean, I just got my book in, this other book about remote viewing, so I'm going to be visiting myself as much as I can because I have heard so many weird things about the moon.
Ditto.
So many.
It's just a big ball of gasoline in the sky. Just instead of gasoline, it's just space dust.
Oh, that's why.
Helium-3?
The moon?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Helium-3, man.
As big as the deal that we made about getting to the moon, we've only been up there once, been to it once.
No, we've been there a few times. We've been there a few times, more than once. Yeah, there've been times to the moon.
Apparently, we
the
lack
Chinese
to
have
go
put
back.
a robot on there.
India
Apparently,
tried.
we just don't know how we did it. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we just stopped going back
Right.
after. Yeah, I can't buy that for a second.
Well, if you ever want
I
to
don't
start
buy it
going,
either.
if you ever start wanting to go to other planets besides Mars, and even to Mars, we're definitely gonna put a base on the moon. We're gonna start mining the moon rocks because helium-3. Let's make ships go.
Yeah, but for the size that the moon is, if that was solid, it's too close.
You think it would affect the Earth different gravitationally?
Oh, greatly! It'd be more gravity than there's got to be something has got to.
Yeah, it's huge.
Wasn't there a movie just came out that the moon blew up and how is it going to affect Earth? It's interesting we're talking about the moon, but I'm pretty sure there was a movie that just came out. Basically, yeah, is that it? The moon blows up.
I know Moonfall isn't that the moon blows up. Is that the moon was actually a secret space station made by aliens, but it wasn't actually aliens. It was humans from the past who made a big space station, but then they all died and became like monkey people, and they re-evolved or something, and the moon became like a swarm of like robot bugs or something, and a bunch of famous people had to save the Earth from the moon that was going to crash into the Earth because the moon had like a jet engine inside it that was pushing it towards the Earth. I think that's what it was about.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, the moon
I
is
might
moving
have
back.
to-
Is this one movie or is this like
Yes,
all the
this is one
movies?
movie. This is one movie.
Well, Netflix had a movie here recently called "Don't Look Up."
I saw that. Good one.
I
It's
get to
good.
see it just because.
Okay,
know.
it's less about space. It's more about stupid humans. Okay, very.
Yeah, but
You
Go
mean just
watch
about
it.
humans.
Do what?
You mean it's just about humans?
Yeah, it's very little about space and mostly about people being stupid, right? Definitely go watch it. Definitely, if you have the chance, definitely watch it. Very good movie.
Isn't Jennifer Lawrence in it? Because
I don't remember.
I normally don't say no if she's in it. She's my future ex-wife. She just doesn't know it yet. Quantum.
You know, Nathan, when you said I intend to visit myself,
Yes.
I heard that in terms of a discrete sentence, and I was reminded of the time, and this is probably the most paranormal thing that has ever happened to me, the time that I had an out-of-body experience.
Oh, do tell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Try to do that.
oh, we not heard this before.
No, I
Well,
will mute to hear this.
Yeah, that's
this
a good
happened to
idea.
me in childhood. I was a teenager. I was reading a book on my bed. I was in a kind of very sleepy state. And all of a sudden, I started visualizing myself from above. Like, I kind of pictured, for some reason, I was like, if I was a fly on the wall, what would I look like from directly above, like from the light? I was lying on the bed in my school uniform with like a book in my hand. I still had my shoes on, hanging over the edge of the bed like a teenage boy would, right? And in thinking that, I was suddenly there. I was above myself, and I could feel that I was above myself. And it was quite an elating feeling, but it was also quite scary. And I kind of moved around the room, moved around myself. And years later, when I was living in another city, I became friendly with the greengrocers next door to me, who were an old Egyptian couple. And the lady and I were talking one day, and she brought up out-of-body experiences. And, I hadn't really talked to anyone about it before. I mentioned it to someone once, and they thought I was wacko, so I just didn't really mention it again. I kind of, buried it. And this lady who, by trade, she was a chemist. She was very intelligent. She said to me, did you have a silver cord going from your ethereal body to the body underneath you? And I said, yeah, I did. How did you know that? And she was like, oh, that's tying you to your physical self, and that just blew my mind. And I tried a lot of times to try and kind of meditate myself back into that state over the years. Not regularly, but just once in a blue moon, very rarely, like the memory of it would come back to me and I'd be like, I wonder if I could get into that frame of mind again. And I've never been able to recapture it. But it was quite an interesting experience.
I used to have books on that, astral projecting, and I always thought it was very interesting, especially as a young man, the concept of it. What was it? The thing that scared me was
every single aspect of it.
No, not so much of it, but the concept that the ribbon that holds you and holds you to your physical form, if it is cut or breaks at all, you are what's the word I'm going to use? Are dead.
Lost.
Yes.
No, no.
I don't know. It felt kind of free up there, but it was also really scary. It was exciting and scary at the same time, like a roller coaster.
I love all these people that make up all these rules.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because obviously I didn't know what was happening. And years later, I was like, was that some kind of neurological occurrence, or was I just really overtired, or what was it? But then I had the conversation with this old Egyptian lady, and that just changed everything.
Right.
It's called validation.
Joe?
Pardon?
What are the rules, Joe?
Whatever you wish to do, as long as it harms none, do it.
Pretty much.
I found the experiment, Nathan, that was done on the flying the two planes. And
Okay.
that was in
Go ahead.
October 1971. And I can't pronounce his first name. Hafele, Hafele, Keating experiment.
Okay. Found it.
And before then, there was the Kennedy Thorndike experiment, but that was way back when, and didn't have the advantage of an atomic clocks, right, and jets, all right.
Okay. I'm going to start collecting links again for the after show. Oops.
What was that fun little phenomenon?
Let me see. It's on the Vintage News.
Well, I'm pleased that I didn't break anything. Let's put it that way.
Just my mind, man.
Breaking rules, breaking rules.
Just your mind, man.
Just my mind, man. Now I want to go listen to Motley Crue smoking in the boys' room.
Alrighty then.
Hey, there is a method to my madness, or there's some madness to my method.
It's not very methodical.
Well, I don't know about you, Shadow, but my shopping list for Bruce's next game is done. Don't worry about it.
Well, just in time.
Yes.
You know, it took me
this
no
weird
time
thing-
to do it, actually.
True.
Okay.
Is time travel more than theoretically possible?
You know what?
I wouldn't say
There
it's
is
even-
something I wanted to talk about. Go ahead. Y'all go first. That's okay.
I think time
No,
traveling.
I'm asking. Yeah. I'm just asking.
I
Go
think
ahead.
time traveling is a very novel idea. It falls under the concept of I hope that we're never able to do it for multiple different reasons.
I don't think it's possible.
Well,
I think we're
Hawkins-
already doing it.
Well, yeah, that's true. If I think that if it's possible, we already have seen the effects of it.
Mm.
It's a thing where, like, I don't know exactly how to describe it, but when you go back in time to change something, you're not really changing anything. You're just causing something that already happened to happen.
They're doing that on the particle level at CERN.
Yeah, but you also have fixed time in history, bringing back to the Doctor Who concept.
That's a plot device, man.
That
That's a
is-
plot device.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't think that's actually. I don't think it actually is real.
I think I
It's
hope.
awesome.
And
for
they
Doctor
violate
Who.
it. They violate it all the time.
No,
This
because
is a
Doctor
TV
Who
show.
could
You
not-
know, like they have
Doctor
to.
Who could not save Krypton from blowing up. Read your comics.
Doctor Who, Krypton. What comics are you reading?
A bunch of them when I was a kid.
It's a meme.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, being serious about time traveling. If time traveling ever did happen, and I'm quoting Tyson, whatever, I can't pronounce his name to save my life.
Tyson Fury, the boxer.
Yes, I'm quoting him, Tyson Fury.
Fucking time travel is not possible. I tried it myself.
What was I going to say? What was I thinking? That the moment we started time traveling would be the farce that we could go back. We could not go back any further than that because time
Right.
is
Right.
right. As you
Okay.
disagree with that
Unless we
comment,
find
or
another society,
Go
unless
for
we
it.
find another society that has time travel, then we can try to go to their time travel machine and back in the past machine. But we're limited by finding other beings, and we haven't found them yet.
Okay, something I have been thinking about for a long time was we are quantum entangled.
Time.
And that theory right there, we can only go as far back as when the time travel machine was developed, right? Take
Right.
that idea.
First activated.
First activated. Okay. Take that idea. Now, I've also heard that we can travel through time via remote viewing, right? And I have
Right.
I've heard that because in looking at a lot of remote viewing, people have said you've been given, instructions, look here, but they weren't told when to look. And they have gone forward and backward and they've come back with whatever results. And it was either true in the past or it became true later. So I was like, okay, all right. How are we seeing that? I've asked directly our Keith Andrews because he's a contactee, and he says time travel is not possible. But he was told that. And I'm like, well, consider the source there. He's talking to his ET friends, and I'm like, is time travel not possible, or do they not want it to be possible for us? Because we're irresponsible and we don't care about consequences. Sorry, what was that?
Because they don't trust us, or we're untrustworthy.
Right. And I'm like, okay, well, what if it really is possible? They're just trying to keep us from using it because we'll wreck everything. And
Kind of like my theory on the government and alien.
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah.
your theory. It's your talking point.
Okay.
I love you, Jack. Jesus.
Jack, are you a status now? Are you at least a base status, or are you like a fruity status? What's going on?
What? I'm not. What?
Are you a statist now?
No.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with using state power. Carry on.
Okay.
Wait, what?
I don't know. But okay.
Smile and nod. That's
Have you
all
seen
can
the
do,
latest?
smile.
Have you seen the latest announcement from National Aeronautics and Space Commission?
They
are saying that theoretically they have designed Warp 10.
I have not seen that.
Actually, I did hear.
Doesn't that mean we
that
just need
they
this thing
have-
shot around the? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it just
that
the
they
other day.
have modeled a. Yeah, they have modeled a warp drive, haven't they? And like tested it.
I didn't even know we got past Warp 1 because I don't pay attention.
No, DARPA's working on that. DARPA's working on that, but we're right now talking about sub-miniature warp drives. Okay.
Oh.
It wouldn't be
Right,
useful
yeah,
for
yeah,
us
yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Who needs a flying bench?
Yeah, it's like a testing bed at the moment, right? Like they're kind of just trying the tech.
I would need someone to throw me some links on that. I want to read about it. But okay, now I want. We were there.
They found.
Go ahead, Joe. No, I was going to continue on with something else, but Joe, go ahead.
They found when they were. Okay, they found when they were looking at very, very small between metal plates that there was something curious happening there that fit with the formulas for that have already been concerning warp drive. And warp drive, of course, has to do with time because we get out there and we're doing warp 10 for 10 years. What's the time going to be when we get back?
Joe, does
on,
that
right.
tie in at all with electric universe theory?
Forward and backwards or the other.
What movie? Yeah, I watch a lot of movies. But there was a movie that actually went along with that. With Matthew Connelly, Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
That as further he goes in space, yes, he stays the same age or something like that, but if he tries coming but everybody he leaves behind would have aged. I guess kids was like in their 30s, and he's still like 39 or something like that. I don't remember the movie completely, but it goes along with what you were saying about time and warp drive.
Yeah, well, that goes back to Einstein's theory about traveling at the speed of light.
Joe, have you heard anything about electric universe theory, which kind of posits a kind of different model? DARPA have researched that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you explain that a little bit better? Because I've heard it bandied about and I find it interesting. Do you have any stock in it, or do you think it's kind of a misnomer, or?
Well, we begin with off with the thing that this whole universe is nothing but energy. We're fooling ourselves with seeing matter, but like Einstein said, reality is an illusion, but it's a darn persistent
That's all we
one.
got.
And it's all we got, right? And I don't know how deep you want to go into that, but
just maybe describe
basically it has to be
layman's terms. Yeah.
Yeah, basically it has to, it has to be electromagnetic somehow, because that's all we've got to work with as far as energy, unless you come up with some sort of strange energy like dark matter to explain some other things about it.
Basically, it kind of. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, basically, like in one sentence, it kind of posits that the underpinning, like basic component of the universe is electric, and that manipulation of electromagnetic fields is kind of key to being able to affect material reality in quite advanced ways, and that a lot of our theories around physics and the nature of matter and energy are kind of close, but they're more centered on things like gravity and mass and not the innate electromagnetic qualities of things. Would you say that's correct, Joe, or am I a little bit off?
I can't fully agree with what you said, because even the study of gravity is studying a weak electromagnetic force.
Yeah.
Where that force is coming from is another thing.
Yeah, we don't know much about gravity.
Right, and we don't know much about mass.
Mm.
We have found a subatomic particle that we think imparts mass. That's still one of the advanced.
I know that Tesla was kind of a bit of a fan of this theory as well, or one of the progenitors of it in a way. Yeah.
Talk about a man who got screwed.
What's that?
Talk about a man who got screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just liked his pigeons. I don't think he was that materialistic,
Yeah, but he was going to put up that large tower to prove Marconi was full of it, as far as Marconi's claim to have invented the radio.
Mm.
He was going to prove to Marconi that he could get a signal across the Atlantic. And of course, great. Now I forget who his sponsor, whether it was Westinghouse at the time or who was that his sponsor at the time. I think it was Westinghouse.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Westinghouse. Yeah.
And he pulled the money out for that, which is terrible because the thing was built. All it needed was the wire.
Isn't it still standing?
No.
I thought something he built was technically still standing.
No, that was taken down for wood almost immediately after Westinghouse pulled the financing on it.
Yeah, his stuff is all gone.
The other reason I bring up electric universe theory and Tesla is that it does link in both to kind of the behavior, like as I was saying earlier, of some of the UFOs in the footage that we've seen, but also a great little rumor and conspiracy around the 45th president of the United States and his secret capacity for time travel.
Jesus.
Which is a wild ride.
What was the name of that book I gave you?
Oh yeah,
Baron Trump.
Yeah.
Baron Trump.
Yeah.
What was the name of that book? Damn it, I can't remember. I've got it in the other room. I could go down and get it.
Baron Trump.
If ever there was an article of like evidence of possible time travel, there's one.
Yeah. That's some weird shit.
I don't think any of us, maybe Nathan, have actually read that book. Because Shadow Sea
I haven't read it yet.
Even reading about it is like.
Oh, you did get it?
Intriguing.
Yeah, it's just I don't like coincidences at all. I don't. And there's
just too many.
Just in
There's
the
no
surface,
coincidence.
just in the very minimal surface details of the book. It's just like, what?
Way too many coincidences in even just the surface level to be able to pass off. I mean, if it was just the name, I wouldn't bat an eye. But everything else, no.
Don't watch The Simpsons then.
I need to read that book. I haven't read it yet because I'm looking at other things, but it's definitely it's right here. So yeah.
What's the name of the book? So Connell can grab a copy.
Baron Trump, or the last president of the United States. It's in the chat right now.
I will.
Okay. I thought it was something else.
I will Amazon it, and
I got it on Amazon.
Cost you $6, Connell. It's quite a wild ride. I think even reading about it is really enough. Like it's kind of weird.
Baron Trump. So President Trump's son will be the last president
in the 19th century.
Okay.
Yeah, different book, Connell.
Waiting for the penny to drop
put
while he
into
reads
the
the synopsis.
Chat.
Okay. $6 on Amazon. Sure, I'll read it. I'll read that during Lent season, so I don't. So Dante's
Bit of punishment for you, Connell.
Yeah, that's what. I normally read Dante's.
To be honest, it's just weird, man. Especially some of the stuff I know about with it's
the Glitterati and some of their practices.
Them and a few other things. All those people that got purged off the internet a while back, and just the track record. If there was anybody to ever claim that they were a time traveler, I would buy it. I if they came out and said it. But of course they're not going to say that, because then they're going to be fitted for a white jacket with wraparound arms, or they're going to get a bullet.
I met Julius Caesar. He was very disrespectful, nipples protruding in his breastplate.
This is going back to time. I mean, I just The funny thing about the time traveling is The Simpsons. Simpsons has thrown enough shit at the proverbial wall. They've actually been correct on a few things, which is just,
Yeah, but if you throw enough shit at the wall, eventually something's gonna stick.
Yeah,
I-
well, Simpsons got an excellent track record.
Well,
Yeah, they
all
do.
the stuff where people say, "Oh, look, Trump," all the Trump stuff, that's all fake. Though the only thing that was remotely close was when they made one joke about Trump being president after Trump ran for president in 2000, and then when
that
Trump
episode
announced he was running again,
The
No,
Trump episode came out way before the 2000. That was like 96, 95.
wait,
I
let
mean-
me see exactly when it was he ran, because also there was no dedicated Trump episode. Well, actually, technically there was a short, but that was after Trump announced in 2016 or 2015.
Stuart Bloodwell's comments
It
are on
wasn't
fire.
a
Very
it was
interesting
in
topics
an
being looked at.
episode.
Yeah. It was
It
like
wasn't afterwards. It was in an episode.
Hold on.
We never really watched The Simpsons in the household.
it was a
Yeah,
Halloween special one.
I have mixed feelings about The Simpsons. It's got a kind of nihilistic kind of vibe to it that I don't really groove on.
I grew
you know?
up on The Simpsons. It's
Yeah, kind of. I know what you mean. I
It's
watched
sorta
it for a
the
little
Rick
while.
It's like the Rick and Morty effect. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Americans can do absurd humor in the way that the British do. I think Americans do better situational humor.
Man, the British knock it out of the park.
Yeah, well,
British
they certainly had a
humor-
good streak. Yeah, they had a good streak when
See,
it came to
that's
comedy.
not. I mean, British humor and American humor are two different birds. It's like American stories and European stories. I like it when my hero dies at the end. He's able to do what he needs to do, but he dies. Where in America, he's got to be the John Wayne or the Clint Eastwood or whoever.
Hey,
Gets
John
the
Wayne
one
didn't always
that dies
live.
Yeah. I mean,
In Hondo, he died.
Princess Bride for being an example. Princess Bride, the novel, Wesley most likely is going to die. But in the movie, you get the happy version of it.
So I saw Stuart Bloodwell was making some interesting comments about sightings in Ukraine recently. Does anyone know anything else about that? I find that that's something that I might want to follow up on. Really,
go look at
It's
TikTok.
weird how.
Yeah.
It's weird how sightings happen at like weird times. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's like connected to something else, like that rocket shot that was going up, and then those dudes in the white suits appeared out of nowhere.
Did you hear about the
Stowaway
ghost?
Perth, I think it was called.
Did you hear about the ghost archers of World War One?
No.
Okay, so a British rifle regiment serving in World War One, they were really up against it, and apparently they had a vision of English longbowmen who had died in the same French field centuries before, and they helped them fight off the Germans with bow fire. And it was corroborated by several members of the regiment.
Okay, that's weird. Never heard that one.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard
it
this
is
one.
weird.
Joe, are you trying to come in twice?
Did you hear about the Foo Fighters in World War II?
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah. This topic comes up, like, we've skirted around it a couple of times, but
No.
I always want to hear more. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what happened.
Birds.
Comment
Okay.
in. Yeah, I put a comment
Hold
in
on.
Sorry about the bird.
on.
That's okay.
I'll mute.
But did you hear about the Foo Fighters in World War II?
Oh,
Yes.
well, yes.
Yeah.
No. It
Oh.
doesn't surprise me. But no, I've not heard that one.
Connell, you haven't heard of Foo Fighters in
You
World War
haven't?
II?
No.
You are
no.
joking, right?
No, I kid you not. Like I said, most of my reading and interest is more into the supernatural in the sense of fae and stuff like that. That's where I bloom. where what you
Okay.
guys were talking about halftime, the sci-fi, stuff, outer space stuff. I'm like, I like what we're talking about. I do have opinions on it, but that's not my wheelhouse.
Okay. I've
Joe,
heard one
take it away.
explanation for them. Yeah, Joe, take it away.
Well, you have an explanation for them, Nathan? They didn't get
I've
involved in the
heard-
fighting.
Yeah, I've heard one explanation that it was static discharges from the airplanes. That was it. That was the explanation. I don't buy it.
Is there music
Go ahead, Joe.
That could follow the airplanes.
No.
Okay, Joe, what?
What was that?
No, you said something
Okay.
that controls the airplanes.
No, not that controls the airplanes. It could pace the airplanes and outpace the airplanes. I
No,
can't
I
see
have
that
not heard
being
that.
static discharge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what.
No, they were like
that-
full on UFOs, dude. Following around B-52s and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've heard that story where air pilots back in that era said they saw UFOs more or less while they're doing the bombing run or whatever. They saw things out there that possibly could not exist. And there was a guy, I don't know, I'm not going to say who because I don't remember names, who said that we get the most alien sightings during a time of our wars. It has to be a bit, ever since the oh god, I don't remember how far back he went, but every time there's a
Wars, volcanoes, atomic bomb test.
yeah,
Yep.
If the aliens are
technology.
here, that would be when they would. That would be when it would be most obvious because they would be looking at what we were doing. And in order to do that, it would be most visible during periods of war.
I mean, if jokingly, not jokingly, if Earth is a great big zoo, they come and visit the talking
Prison.
monkey, or they come to see the talking monkeys. We are probably the most interesting when we're blowing the shit out of each other.
That's true.
I mean, or oh
Very
no, a
well taken
volcano went
that
off.
way, but sure.
How's it going to affect the talking monkeys?
We're losing everybody.
No, we're here. We're all here.
Well, I'm probably
Yeah,
I want
Stuart-
to say really quick.
Stuart Blodwell in the chat brings up the Concorde in 77, 78. Yeah. I remember
Or
reading
the
about that too.
Stowaway First.
I'll give you that, Nathan. Less of a zoo, more of a wildlife reserve. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
Prison.
I said
Prison.
in my video, we are the dangerous animals. And whatever we're doing, we're left to our own devices until they need something from us. Just like we do with
Yeah,
animals.
Remember Inky was the only one out of the ancient gods that defended us. And
Yep.
he thought we were entertainment.
We kind of are, though. I mean, was it back to that the guy I like? He thought, Hawkins said if aliens ever came to our planet, be for one of two things: to destroy us or to enslave us. The follow up, I just was watching an interview not that long ago about their thought processing on that. Was they think this guy thinks Hawkins thought that because of what we've done to our own people, not because an alien species would actually do that, but historically we've done that to our own people. So why would not an alien species do the same? So that comment came out of fear instead of really anything else.
I think if they came here, it would be because for some reason Earth poses a strategically important position for whatever alien society comes here.
That or they watch Star Trek.
No, I think.
Well, no, I mean,
if aliens show up here, it's because they want to set up some sort of outpost or return to some sort of outpost that they have in this area, which will allow them some sort of strategic advantage against some sort of enemy that they may be having
in space.
You know, all these suppositions are great, but it's based on the thing that we are equal to them and we are an equal threat to them, and we are not.
No,
We are
not that we're
nowhere
equal
near.
to them. That our planet and our solar system is just like an island that they can set up they can put some of their stuff on, so
An
that they can
outpost.
yeah, exactly, just an
A duck
outpost.
blind, right?
Yeah, then they don't care about us; they care about the land.
Or
They
like their
care
other
about-
enemy.
not the land,
maybe they,
but space.
like
Where
maybe they have an
are-
enemy out there,
Yeah.
and then this is a good place to set up a military, blockade or something like that. I'm
Right.
not buying that for
For
the
us.
shit. No, they're not. No, we're not the enemy. Like, there's two different alien species out there at war, and we're just in the middle. And if they take over this planet, then they've got a place they can work with. Well, the only problem with that is that there are, a whole bunch of other planets in our solar system they could use just as easily. The only thing that this planet offers is food. Food that we're aware of. If they eat energy or rock,
Atmosphere.
they go. They could eat us. They could eat our plants. They could eat our animals. We are a rarity.
Yeah, that's the rare part. The elements that we're all made of, not so rare. But
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're literally everywhere out there.
Well, of all the sci-fi alien movies I've ever seen, maybe it's because it's the very first movie I ever saw, the Xenomorphs scared the ever-living dickens out of me. Of all the other alien movies out there that I've seen, and I've seen a bunch of them, is something about these Xenomorphs that scared the ever-living fuck out of me.
It's because they're
Sorry,
bugs.
you know what? Those ones never scared me. You know what movie scared me? Jackie knows.
No, actually,
Fire in the Sky. Fire in the Sky. That movie scared
I like that one.
piss out of me. One, because they were scarier, because they had intent. They weren't just like a creature that just needed to eat and move on. They had intent. But I grew up and I was a kid. My first experiences with UFOs were hearing about the Travis Walton abduction as a little kid. Younger than Jack, I was like 9 years old, something like that, when I started hearing it on the news and the radio. It was like that was like the first time, maybe the second time that someone ever came and said, "Hey, I was abducted by aliens, and this is the shit that happened." The only other case that comes to mind before that was Betty and Barney Hill, and that movie scared the shit out of me too, but only because the scene where James Earl Jones is sitting there crying like a baby when he's describing what happened to him during the same kind of abduction.
Well, it was interesting. The
You
guy
guys ever
from,
seen that movie, Interrupted Journey? Joe probably
I
has.
watched it a while back. Yeah.
That movie, not only is that movie scary, but that movie's got actual concrete, provable, repeatable evidence that has no explanation.
going back to the Fire in the Sky, though, the guy who the movie was about, did an interview with Seth Rogen. Am I thinking Paul Rogan, Seth Rogen? Who am I thinking?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. I was like,
Yeah, I've seen the interview, and he didn't denounce it ever.
No, he
He's
didn't
still-
announce it, but he thought those aliens were more curious than they were violent or aggressive.
Right. The movie made it. They took liberty with the movie, but
Yeah. Oh, of course
but
they will.
if you tie that movie with Dulce, New Mexico, what's his name? Nathan, the guy who got his fingers burned off.
Ow.
oh, I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, Dulce, New Mexico. I'll look him up right now.
That story is pretty terrifying.
Candyland.
Hey, Joe left us. No, come back. Not Joe.
Joe's here.
James left us. Well, James, Joe is now in James's space on the screen. That's why.
Yeah. Well, if he comes back, he can come back in.
Well,
Hold on.
he said he's gonna leave, but he said he might come back later.
Did he?
I'm probably gonna do the same in 10 minutes.
Bedtime, little man.
What?
What?
I'm talking to Jack.
I'm gonna leave in 10 minutes.
You getting
Oh.
tired?
I have things I gotta do tomorrow.
Bravo.
We've
Wait,
got a car show to go to with for JROTC, and he needs to be up bright and squirrely to do his
okay.
patriotic duty.
Yeah, I'm not
Understandable.
doing it. I mean, I might do a show, but it will not be our normal Sunday.
No, he has to go. We have to go to a car show.
You don't have to.
Right.
You can
That's
do
I
that.
get that. That's why I said I'm not going to do the normal, our normal show. I might do something, but I don't know.
Well, you two can
Phil
still do show.
Schneider.
Yeah. I knew his last name was Schneider. Yeah,
Phil Schneider, yeah.
That guy, I tend to. You guys got to remember that when I watch somebody talk, when I watch an interview of somebody, I was trained to be able to pick up on micro expressions and subtle clues as part of my job. So when I watch somebody, I may be wrong, but I'm not wrong all the time, and I'm right more often than I'm wrong. So when I watched this guy, the guy wasn't getting rich off it, and the guy was terrified. Okay, those are the things I picked up on watching him. He was terrified when he was talking about it, and he had the scars and the wounds to prove what he said. And then he turns up dead from suicide. After he talked about what he talked about, when people get suicided, they don't necessarily have to be suicided from the guy at the top who's most interested. Sometimes people take things into their own hands. The lower level, individuals within an organization. Sometimes they will.
I was about to say, like the guy who shot, Harvey.
Right.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Sometimes other people within an organization fear for their own lives as well as their bosses and decide to take things into their own hands. And, maybe they get caught by their boss. Their boss is like, well, in for a penny, in for a pound kind of thing. Sometimes they get away with it and even the boss doesn't know.
Going back to the whole, continue.
I was going to say with the Phil Schneider, Dulce, New Mexico story, that's nothing but bad guy aliens. Scary, horrifying, monstrous kinds of nightmarish entities. And, until I go there and get a tour of the place, I have very little to go on. But those kind of stories, and nobody else has told their UFO story that I know of, and then for some reason mysteriously commit suicide after, getting a huge reception upon telling their story. Everybody else, they get to live happily ever after, usually not so happily, but they never kill themselves.
No. Suicide.
It seems like it would be the other way around.
Right.
But it never
There
is.
was one other UFO underground base covered by somebody else, and it was buried, and it was covered by Hellier. I want everyone to watch Hellier. Brown Mountain in the 1970s.
Never even heard of that one.
Yeah, I know. It's been covered up. And it's not actually Brown Mountain, it's Berwyn. But everybody mistakes it for Brown. And Berwyn Mountain. And I'm going to put it in there. And Hellier addressed it. They went there and they found where it had been demolished to where you couldn't go in. And it wasn't natural cave-ins. It looked like it had been cut and shaped and like blocks put in place so you couldn't get in there. But it was like shaped charges, right? Like cut with shaped charges, not cut with lasers or saws or something. And yeah, Berwyn Mountain. I'm saving links for after the show. I can't really put them in and they
there is a city they found in the ocean. It's off Japan, off the coast of Japan. There was a City of Atlantis type TV show on the History Channel, and I always take those with a grain of salt.
This Wikipedia page is almost smaller than the Mexican articles I read. Wow.
You're talking about Berwyn Mountain?
But you said there's a movie? What's the movie called?
Connell?
No, it was not a movie. I thought he was talking to you. No, it was a special on the History Channel about the lost city of Atlantis and where it could be. It being off the coast of Japan was one option. Off the coast of Cuba being another option. Off the coast of multiple different places they found buildings that don't seem like they could have been built at that time period by those people that were there. And they're not natural buildings because there's no right angles in nature or some variation of that. I might be misspoken on that one, but it was weird. It's just how they were going on and on about, especially the one in Japan. And this guy came on. I think for every 3 or 4 believers they have on the show, they always have that one straight man who's like, no, it really was a temple that was on a cliff, that there was an earthquake and it fell into the ocean. But that doesn't excuse how the building was been able to be built at that time period because of how it was struck. You mean the off the underwater off the coast of Japan? Yeah, Yamagumi or something like that. Yeah, I'm not buying that earthquake shit. Real quick, Nathan, what's the name of the movie about Berwyn Mountain?
No, I can't find it. All I can find is a reference in Hellier, the TV series Hellier on Amazon.
How do you spell Hellier?
I'm going to put it in the chat.
Okay, and real quick, last thing I just want to say, James, if you don't come back tonight, have a great weekend. I hope you get lots of rest. Hope your back's doing well. Make sure you say hi to your girlfriend for us, and we'll look forward to seeing you again as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I completely agree with everything that Shao just said, and I'm still waiting for my Australian girlfriend there, James. Because you
watch
said you
for the weird, dismiss nothing.
No worries, James. No worries. I think we're all gonna, pack it in a little earlier than usual, and without you here hanging out with us, James, it just doesn't seem like a regular night. Maybe you just sucked all the energy out of us, you vampire. I see how you are. You just came in.
Joe, put that link in the YouTube chat, please. I can't do it on my phone.
I'm still feeling your withdrawal, Carl.
Hey, make sure it's good quality straw. None of that New Zealand straw.
Connell, Antarctica, and Atlantis are like one of my favorite topics. Okay.
I love the idea of Atlantis. I think it's the Travelers. At the Travelers. You ever? Oh God, it was a book I read back when I was a teenager. Talk about these travelers. They had
the Irish travelers or something else.
So I get not alien travel. Well, the
Irish.
What one?
The Irish.
No. We're not talking about pikeys.
Okay, just take it, man. Just take it.
They had these big boats, and they had red sails, and they would trade items that had no business being there, like the
Antikytherian device.
Oh. Yeah, no, glass beads from Egypt and Norway, or just random shit like that.
Oh, okay. Normal, mundane stuff that's just out of place.
Right, but no one knew where they came from.
The sea people?
I've heard of this.
They could have been sea people. I don't know. I mean, once again, it
Okay.
falls into that realm of,
Mythology.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
so, but you have heard what I'm talking about, though, Nathan, right?
Yes.
And
I haven't thought about it in a while, but yeah.
I mean, Atlantis. If Atlantis was anywhere, if anywhere, I don't think it would have been in the Mediterranean.
Nope. If I had a map in a couple hours, I could tell you where I think it is. But that's me. It was funny because last night, prepping for the show, I watched like 2 different shows on the Sphinx and Edgar Cayce, and the Hall of Records under the Sphinx, which is supposedly the Hall of Records from Atlantis, placed under the Sphinx. And to this day, they won't let anybody anywhere near the Sphinx with ground-penetrating radar because it's probably actually there.
Right.
Right. What was the other one I thought?
You got nothing to fear. You got nothing to hide. Let people do their little test. It doesn't damage the ground. It doesn't hurt anything. And you say no. That I'm talking to Egypt. When Egypt says, no, you cannot bring your ground-penetrating radar and look under or near our Sphinx, that means you know what's there already and you're fucking hiding it.
Yep. Yeah.
Not all. I mean, there is also the. This is
Nothing
loose.
more.
This is loose.
The ground-penetrating radar device would fit in a wheelbarrow.
No,
It's
I'm
not
Looks like a lawnmower.
I'm not disagreeing the fact that it would do no harm. I'm disagreeing. I am just saying from a point of logic. If they actually did that, then they would kill the myth. If they killed the myth, no one would be interested in coming. Therefore, they would lose money over tourists. If you want people to believe in something,
Really? Because they got these cool things in Egypt that have been drawing tourists for hundreds of years. These big triangle buildings.
No,
that are
I
gonna bring
understand what
tourists.
you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But if the moment you take the wow out of something amazing, you can't sell it. And
more
that's
people go to visit the pyramids than they go to visit the Sphinx. Once
That will
they're there,
only
they wanna do
increase
the whole
the
thing.
wow. That will only increase the wow factor. It will
Yeah,
not
people
decrease
like
the
us
wow
who aren't
at
going
all.
there. The only people who care are people like us who can't go there.
right. That's fair.
Okay,
Yes.
it's not as big. It's not a big thing that everybody knows about. You say the pyramids, everybody on the planet knows what you mean. You go into deepest, darkest, South American, Brazilian jungle, and they've heard of the pyramids, and they're not even talking about their own.
All right. No, and I get what you're talking. I understand what you're saying.
It's a micro niche. It's just like the little brass doorway in the freaking pyramid. You know what I'm talking about, right, Nathan?
Oh yeah, I
And they
know
wouldn't
what
let
you're talking
anybody go
about.
near that either. Once they found it, they're like, nope, can't, no.
Supposed to be a door on the back of or somewhere near Washington or somebody's head in the mountain that's supposed to.
And Mount Rushmore, yeah, there is.
Yeah,
There's a complex to that.
I didn't know what part. I didn't know if that was just a Disney bullshit they want to throw in National Treasure or if that was actual thing.
No, they usually get their ideas from things that are they're pretty factual to make. Yeah, to make it add that much more like you said to the whole story.
No, you mentioned Disney movie. Here's a Disney movie for you. Good, just the Lost City of Atlantis.
Oh, with Michael
Rewatch
J.
that
Fox. Michael J. Fox, the guy who played Maverick, not Mel Gibson, but the TV show. I can't think of his name.
Well,
yeah,
what?
Mike, the Lost City of Atlantis, with Milo and the other team.
The animated Disney movie.
Yeah, yes, I know which one you're talking about. Michael J. Fox was the voice actor for Milo.
Okay.
And the Colonel was voiced by the guy who played support to the local sheriff.
So you have watched it?
Oh, I own it. I don't have it. I can't watch it currently because I don't have a DVD player. But yeah, I own it. It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay, good. Well, take another look at it because it's really one of them quashed movies that they don't want anybody. It's post-capitalism society.
Yeah.
Post-capitalism. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, it's Lost to Eden. Okay, it's Eden lost, and they found it again, and capitalism fucked it up for everybody.
That's fair. I mean, I can definitely see where you're going with that one.
Well, it's all in the movie. Just watch the movie. They have nothing to teach us. We know what they do. We did it. It failed. We moved on. That's what they, and Disney wants to quash that movie. That's why it hasn't ever been released again.
And why you
Notice
just
they
started
opened the vault.
went all weird.
I don't know. I'm about ready to verify that.
Go
not to be
ahead. Verify.
But I
argue. Stop saying that. Argue. Be argumentative. Bring up the points. Bring it all home with a nail made of steel. Okay, that's enough. Sorry.
We can all agree to disagree at any moment in time. We've already, Connell knows we've already been through this earlier this week.
There's no fear of
nobody's gonna
disagreement
say
and
anything
argumentative here.
Yeah.
I and I understand.
Nobody's
that.
arguing. It's just, don't say you're arguing. It brings up an argument. I'm like, why does he keep saying that? Not to be argumentative, but I'm just say it.
It's the way I was raised.
We're all each other's own skeptics at one time or another. There's gonna be stuff you're gonna be like, Shadow, you're fucking wacko jacko, and I'm like, hey, my personal experiences have brought me to this.
Atlantis,
Your personal experiences,
The Lost City of Atlantis,
right, guys?
came out in 2001. I swear, I just saw something recently that had.
Connell, whenever shit happens like this, you just go Mandela effect.
Yeah, I mean,
right
I'm
back
not
to quantum.
But 2013, 2013, Atlantis Milo Returns. I mean, the first one was so much better.
I've actually seen it too. I can't remember a damn thing.
Atlantis, the Lost Empire is the actual title. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. But I thought they released some of the character skins. That sounded weird. On something.
Yeah, it did.
On a video
that
game.
PlayStation Lego game?
No, I mean, God, it was. As far as I know, it could have been fucking fart night, fourth night. Jesus, Mary Joseph.
Hey Jackson, you still there?
Did he pass out on the table again?
I'm gonna go find out. I think he
The
did.
difference between your son and Bruce is Bruce will fall asleep underneath the table. Your son falls asleep on the table. Yeah.
No, he falls asleep in bed. He just doesn't want anybody to know. And then I have to turn off his.
Oh yeah.
He's out like a light. He's out like a light. Hold on a minute, guys.
Okay, so apparently on Britannia, they'll tell you exactly where Atlantis is. That's fun.
Are you talking about the area of Africa where people
it's
think
west.
they have discovered something that looks.
Wow, that map is backwards. Off the Straits
The east
of
coast of Africa.
You don't want to say goodbye?
well, they're saying the west coast of the Straits of Gibraltar. What?
You don't want to say goodnight?
Gibraltar?
Yeah, it might be that. I'll spell it out in private chat.
Well, I gotta go.
Goodbye, Jack. You have a good weekend.
Yeah,
Hello?
you too.
Nathan, I like that
Have a
shirt.
great one.
Okay, back. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's supposed to be off the west of the Straits. Oh, Jesus. Where was it? I just scrolled off of it.
Straits of Gibraltar.
Yeah, that's where the www.britannia.com says it's believed to be.
That's Plato's thing, right?
Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
in
well-
the Atlantic Ocean.
What
It's between
they've
Africa
discovered
and America?
recently,
Go ahead, Joe.
what they found recently that looks like his description of Atlantis is on the west coast of Africa, and it's got all the circular shapes and all that. Of course, the geologists are poo-pooing it and saying it's just a
Yeah, just so
volcano
everybody knows, this
that
is not in
collapsed
the
itself
ocean. This
and-
is on land. I know where he's talking about. It's not in the ocean. It's on the land.
It wasn't
So-
seen. It wasn't seen until our astronauts went up there the first time and went around Earth a couple times and went, "Oh, look at there! It looks like an eye looking at us."
Right. The Eye of Africa.
Used. Right.
And
Yeah,
You may want to look that up.
I'm with Dark Journalist on this one. Atlantis was not one place. Atlantis was a civilization, many places.
Yep.
We have
I
covered
will
this.
Why?
Yeah, we covered this in like the first two shows that we did here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the city
Yeah,
itself, but the rest of the civilization was worldly. It's like saying,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
like
everywhere.
saying, it's like saying Egypt was only there. They were all over the place. They had people in other countries or other
Right.
continents or whatever. So did if Atlantis wasn't just a myth, then they probably had people all over the place. And when Atlantis fell, they supposedly took the sum of their knowledge or as much of it as they could and buried it underneath the Sphinx, or buried it, then erected the Sphinx on top of it as a marker to know where to find it again. And descendants of Atlanteans have been walking amongst us for, millennia, 12, 13,000 years. And, the Freemasons or some other group like that could very well be, the last vestiges of that once great society.
I don't know about the Freemasons. Maybe the
No,
Navajo.
but well, if you think about their dedication to architecture and math and things like that, it would almost make sense that if it's not them, then it's people amongst them, like a subsect within the group.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I tend to think that it was handed to them. It was given to them by other people, and they adapted it.
The actual Atlanteans could have been so few in number that they had to start a new group.
Right, and break away.
Nathan,
Oh, man.
are you aware of Victoria Mountain here near Las Cruces?
I've heard the name several times, but no, Victoria Mountain. What about it?
Right. looks like a pyramid from the outside. And during the 1930s,
Is that in Australia?
I believe it was.
Las Cruces, New Mexico.
No.
Oh, okay.
One of the ranchers.
Yeah, that's
claimed
weird.
that
New
he found
Mexico's
an
pretty
entrance into
popular.
the mountain, and he found. Right. He found an entrance to the mountain and found some Egyptian artifacts.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I
wasn't
am
that
remembering
also
this now.
The army took it over.
Wasn't
Right.
that also true in the Grand Canyon as well?
Yes, in the
Joe?
Grand Canyon they found some too, but I was talking about locally.
Okay. Well, we got
We're off
quiet.
Yeah, we're off time.
Yeah. I might wrap it up here soon, y'all. I'm just really tired. I had a long day. Woke
Yeah,
up
so the
early.
little guy, as you saw, he passed out listening to us, and I accidentally woke him up. Had to shut him out, or shut his devices down for him.
Okay. But Atlantis. Oh, heck yeah. Favorite topic, Connell. You're in the right room for Atlantis. Because
I talked about Atlantis for a while.
dude, and there has been a ton of research, and look at my channel. Don't watch the videos, look at the links. I've dropped all sorts of links about Atlantis. Dark Journalist, Not Aliens, freaking all the stuff with X series, Atlantic Black Projects, and McMurdo, okay?
McMurdo?
And yeah, McMurdo. And
McMurdo Sound.
What?
Isn't it called McMurdo Sound?
I think it is. I just know it is McMurdo Air Base. But it's probably McMurdo Sound. But there's, oh man, I'm trying to remember. See, I'm getting tired. And it's hot in here for some reason. But because we're cooking, that's why. But yeah, there's just, oh man. But Daniel from Dark Journalist has covered it so much. Operation High Jump, right?
Right.
Going down to that is the big secret. Okay. The aliens, yeah, that's great. Aliens, great. But Atlantis, here's my little nutshell version of Atlantis, right? They're us. We can't use alien technology. We're having a really hard time. It takes so long, but the Atlantis stuff, we pick it up like that because it's our stuff made for us, by us, just left. And it's there waiting for us to go back to it. And we went back to it. We're there now. Same thing with
I recently saw a YouTube video. I didn't click on it. That I think there's only one guy left from the actual Operation High Jump still alive. There's one guy left.
Yeah.
And he had some interesting things to say.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I don't have much information about Lemuria other than from Sitchin's work. And I don't really want to talk about Sitchin's work too much because we have new information. We have a lot of new information since Sitchin. Well, I just said all of it.
Sitchin though, he's kind of like another Eric von Daniken. He's one of the four, the godfathers of this subject. He's one of the first people that, he may have got a lot of shit wrong, but he was on the right track.
Yeah. Oh, I don't diss him at all. It's just that I don't know enough about him because.
Oh, I've got all his books, and I've made it through about half of them, but it started getting really complicated after the third book. It's like reading Dune. You can read the first book, the second book. You get in the third book and like, wait a minute, I thought these characters died. Oh no, they're clones. And it just gets real confusing.
Yeah. Oh, now Connell's back, dude.
I've been listening to Frank Herbert's book, and they just get weird. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Well,
book. They just get
yeah,
weird.
Atlantis does that. Atlantis does that. Like, okay, something that happened interesting about Atlantis is Roswell. They happened months apart. Roswell happened, and then it was like, oh, that's the new cover story. Don't look at Atlantis. Don't look at Admiral Byrd. Look at Roswell, this made up shit. Well, not all made up, but look at this incident. How convenient we have this to look at when we really have something over here to look at, but don't look over here. Look at Roswell.
The media's been doing its shit for a lot longer than we want to know. We want to think about.
The more I listen into High Jump, the more stuff I find listening, just the weirder it fucking gets. It's like that rabbit hole just does not give up any time. And unfortunately, as much as I like to play the Mad Hatter, I ran out of tea a long time ago.
Well, Bird's Diary.
Well, then sit back and listen. Yeah, diary.
Bird's Diary for the Antarctic expedition reads almost word for word of his Arctic expedition up until his plane has problem. The plane's problem is exactly the same. So, and also what yellow newspapers were saying at the time doesn't agree with the Spanish newspaper that originally wrote the story. Bird said nothing about UFOs. He said nothing about something underground. All he said was to watch out for airplanes coming over the poles. Planes are different from UFOs or strange flying. So a lot of that is, you got to look at your sources and see which one you believe, because it just gets, like you were saying, it just gets down too much down a rabbit hole.
Didn't MacArthur say something similar when he retired? No, nobody heard that before.
That's yours, Joe.
There was There's another admiral, though, who became a member of the Majestic 12. Now, that admiral also approved the Operation High Jump. So, another avenue to go down on that.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, doesn't it have to be quite a few people to sign off on something for something like that to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like not a hey you job. Yeah, that has to go through Congress, through not just hey you go do this.
Right.
That's a big deal for an expedition of how many ships? 13 ships, Joe. How many ships went to Operation High Jump?
It was the biggest operation since after the war.
Okay. I'm looking up a number.
They were going to go down there. They were going to go down there for 6 months. Well, it didn't take about a few weeks, and they decided, the weather was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Bird had been to the Arctic, so the Antarctic was going to be like
13 ships.
13 ships is a very interesting number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it includes submarines,
Multiple aircraft, an aircraft carrier.
Didn't that
Right.
ship just reappear? What was the name of that ship? It was up there. They were looking for a pass at the Northwestern Pass. Famous fuck.
Yeah, I think I know
Well,
what
to
you're
put it
talking about, though.
to put it in perspective, think of how much money would cost today to mount the same operation. You're talking about billions of dollars. And back then, money was a lot more valuable. And you know what wasn't
we were
there?
just coming out of World War II. We were depleted, and we still did it.
I mean, World War II definitely helped us get out of the Great Depression, but financially, we were still hurting a lot.
We're talking about hurting a lot. Nathan, can I mention the border situation?
Sure, go ahead. What you got?
Down here in El Paso, we have, well, I put one video on YouTube there, but every motel and hotel in El Paso has people from El Salvador outside it, waiting for a chance to go in the room. They're sharing rooms of like 8 hours apiece. Otherwise, they're standing around outside hotels and motels over the city. We are inundated. We weren't prepared, which we should have been, because this has been a couple of years since we changed presidents, but we weren't prepared, and it's a humanitarian crisis out here now. I've gone out and myself personally given water to them and things like that.
And yet Martha's Vineyard can't handle 50.
Outside of
I need to catch up on the Martha's Vineyard thing, but El Paso is in a crisis right now.
Right. Well, if you can, whatever deities you believe in or whatever, just put those people in your heart, and let's see if we can't come up with something. If there's nothing else, send ships to El Salvador and say, hey, we're cleaning up your government for you. So they can have jobs down there.
I like that idea.
That'll never happen, because the whole idea was to bring them here to change the voter base in specific locations. Yeah, none of that's going to happen. The unfortunate fact of the matter is they're not going to vote the way the current administration thinks they're going to vote. Too many Catholics.
Yeah, well, it takes.
But El Paso is a Catholic town. El Paso is a Catholic town, and unless you claim you're Democrat, you're not getting an elected office here in El Paso. Now, the thing is, it's like James Robertson down here. He is the most right person with the most right opinions that I know of, but he can therefore gets voted in office. You just have to say you're a Democrat.
Okay. Yeah, there's
anything about that, Shadow?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said you were saying that the current administration is not going to get what it wants as far as voting. Here in El Paso, you don't get into office unless you claim to be Democrat. And you can have the most right opinions from the right, you want it, but you got to claim to be Democrat so you can get elected.
Yeah, it's a big dog and pony show in there.
Oh, real quick, I'm looking at my copy of the book. Yeah, it is called my copy says the collected works of Ingersoll Lockwood, the
Yep.
Barron Trump novels, and 1900 or The Last President, because there's 3 books.
Right.
That's why.
Yep.
That's why when you say Barron Trump, I'm like, what? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of the 3.
Yeah, I just wrap it up in my head as Barron Trump. But I have yet to read it. I'm going to be doing some remote viewing first because
Yeah, you know what? That's one of my favorite topics, and every time I watch a video on it, I literally fall a freaking sleep watching it. So, again, send me a link to a good book because I want a step-by-step how-to. I'll do my own research, my own test,
right.
and see what I come up with. Because
Yeah, we have to crack the egg on our own. I just can't get into someone else's perspective on these things. I have to do it myself because if I try to do it anybody else's way, it fails because I don't have my heart into it. I don't have the research. I don't have
see,
the
for me, I'm
wisdom.
like, if you give me instructions on how to do anything, I can follow them to the letter. Whether it's putting something together or, making an omelet or whatever, if I've got actual step-by-step instructions, I'm good to go. But when some lady comes on and starts talking, I end up, just falling asleep like I'm, getting ready to be hypnotized or something. And then I just, sometimes it's weird. If I listen to a YouTube video, it'll affect my subconscious and my dreams. But other times it just knocks me out like a sleeping pill. And of all the disciplines, that one for me has got the most potential, but also the most scientifically
documented.
backed up. Yeah. People, real actual scientists tried to do shit and then acted like it was a failure and closed up shop. And yet there are thousands of people probably still doing it and billions of dollars being funneled into it, through whatever, black projects they want to rename them as,
Right.
Only one way to find out. Try it myself.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to reach over and grab the book. It's Russell Targ, Limitless Mind. I'll put it in the chat right now.
Well, chat won't do me any good. You have to send it to me in Messenger so I don't lose it. Because when this is over,
oh yeah, that's right.
I don't want to get in scrubs.
I will also link in the description. I put that in last week's description too. But yeah, let me see here. I'm gonna get to it. I'll get an Amazon link. That's where I got it from. It's not uncommon. It's easy to get a hold of. It's not like banned or anything.
That's I found the ship I was talking about that's supposed to be there. Fuck. Took me long enough. Was it the HMS Terror in the Arctic?
HMS? How old is that ship?
Her Majesty Service, yes.
Yeah. It was abandoned. Let's see. Launched in June 29th of 1813.
Okay.
They were trying to find the Northwest Passage by cutting up through the ice, and it just went horribly wrong. They got stuck. They had to end up abandoning the ship because the ship was eventually breaking from the pressure of the ice.
Didn't they walk? They basically walk across the ice to get rescued.
Yeah. The wreckage was discovered. Anyways, in 2000 and hold on, they found it. It was lost. I mean, it just disappeared under the ice, or it moved, or whatever. But they thought they had found it, the wreck site in 2022, but it was canceled due to the COVID. They returned to the wreckage in May 2022. So they found the ship. They finally found the ship after that fucking long.
Well, it didn't sound like it was really going anywhere.
Well, the ice moves. The current moves.
Wasn't that the Franklin Exposition?
I believe so. David, it was yes by Captain Sir John Franklin. Yeah, you're right. I'm excited. I found what I was looking for. I'm sorry. It's like, is this a real thing or am I losing my fucking mind? There's a movie based off of it, right? The guy who played in this movie was the guy who played Caesar in Rome, played the captain. And I'm like, okay, is this a real movie or am I having one of my deep moments? Because I remember it being a real movie. Did I slip into another plane of existence to watch this movie on HBO?
It's another Mandela effect. Just another Mandela effect.
But no, yeah, but it's a true thing. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fuck. Sorry, I got excited. I'll knock it off. I'll dial it down.
Shadow, link is sent.
Sweet.
Okay,
Then
y'all.
I can spy on you guys.
What's up?
Then I can spy on you guys.
It's like somebody's watching me.
Oh, Jesus. The Joe's got that serious face like, don't you be spying on me, man.
You can use it to visit.
Nah, I'm just going to mess with Connell.
Yeah, I'm going to start sitting around my apartment butt-ass naked. You see what you see.
I thought you were going to say you're going to get your tinfoil hat out.
No, but Atlantis is such a fun topic. I mean, even in the Disney version, I would have to say the culture that they based the Atlanteans on was an interesting choice because they seemed more South American, Aztec or somewhere down South American culture, and I thought that was really cool.
Okay, my tech is breaking down over here. I can barely get my computer to do anything. And Dogface Boy just came in the chat. I'm trying to say hi, but it's not letting me over here. Yeah.
Well, then it probably that time there, Hoss.
It is. I'm going to go ahead and break it down, wrap it up, pack it in.
Pull the
everyone. Oh my God, my browser is just frozen. YouTube is doing
That's what
nothing.
happens when you start looking up the cool shit, guys.
Yeah. What did we say here? Right back to quantum. Yeah. This is what happens. The anomalies show up.
Hey, so do the glowies, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, everybody, Dogface Boy, thanks for coming in. It's the very end of the show. I wish you'd have gotten here earlier, but that's okay. We've gone for almost 3 hours, 2 hours, 43 minutes.
Next week is Connell and I. We don't have a game that takes up all Saturday, but I gotta have one of my sci-fi shows because my people have been, hammering about it. So I'll do a 2-hour show and then jump over here. Hopefully you won't start without me, but I'm gonna do a 2-hour show. Sci-fi. You're welcome to come hang out as well. That way, we can all stay on each other's show and do the after party over here. I'll try to do it a little bit earlier, but it's kind of hard. 7 o'clock is usually a perfect time for me, which, I'm in California time. So, I know that makes it hard because I'm the farthest away from everybody on the East Coast. But if everybody, gets a little rest before the show. Yeah, hey, I would love to move out there to Texas, hang out with you, but that's going to take a little work.
I think
Yeah.
Tennessee is my location. If I can pick up some Spanish, I'll move to Antioch. Because I'm not rich enough to live in proper Nashville. East Nashville is getting really expensive.
Yeah.
Lebanon doesn't seem that bad. I could live in
No,
Lebanon.
Lebanon's nice. But
Yeah.
yeah, proper Nashville is super expensive. I'm so lucky. And I'm like, thankful. Thank you, Haunted House. Haunted houses go cheap here.
I've heard that
That's
before.
why.
If there's been a murder in the house in the last 10 years, the price of the house is reasonable. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny because it's true, but
Oh man, I need to do a show on this place. Just not the haunted aspect, but just the history. The history is amazing. But
Nashville, yeah.
That would make for a great midweek video, dude.
yeah, I might do that. I might do that on just some of the history, like a CBS News report type thing.
Do a multi-parter and spread it out. You know, as you pick up information, maybe do 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, and
Yeah.
you know, say, you know, and make it regular. Do it, you know, once a month, once a week, whatever you can, you know,
I gotta
manage.
get of that person. Fuck. There's a story, and I don't remember what small town it is in Nashville. I don't want to say the Bell Witch, but there's a story of a witch somewhere in Tennessee.
Besides me,
No, I mean, like back in the day, back you know, a while ago, witch. I have a friend who's related to the person. I have to find. Okay, I have to look into that, but I think that'd be a fun conversation for at least me and you to have because you know you live in Nashville, and I know you live in Tennessee, and I know Tennessee.
okay.
So I think it'd be fun. I have to look into it, and then I'll bring it to you if it's something you're interested in.
Yeah, I do local. I'm the only local guy around here willing to do anything weird. Everybody's too scared to do anything. I'll do the weird
Jump
stuff.
on it, dude. Jump on it.
You're right in the middle of the Bible Belt. What do you expect?
That is true.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
man.
your neighbors don't need to know what you're broadcasting.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll be all right.
You know, I was
Go ahead.
I was about to say I was in a minor car accident when I was in Nashville. Nashville is one of the few places I ever lived where the person got out of the car, wasn't screaming at me, and actually see if I was okay. I lived in other parts of this country where that was not the "Are you okay?" It was more of, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" It was more or less coming out of their mouth.
Yeah,
so I live in Nashville.
Yeah, that's what we do. I mean, that's what we teach our kids to do is like you check on the other person. It's just hospitality and friendliness.
It's you know, I hate to quote. Actually, I don't hate to quote Hannibal Lecter, but rudeness is an epidemic.
Okay, well, everybody,
You know,
this
it's
has been
COVID.
great. Yeah, this has been great tonight. Maybe next week I will have I don't know, more of a topic because we got away from time. Time got away from us. Ah, see what I did there? Boom.
Time slips through your fingers.
Yeah, we even got a new word out of tonight too.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
You know, I feel like an idiot. You know that, right? That's not a real word.
I ought to like rename your name here on StreamYard, the Astronomist.
Astronomist. Yeah.
As long as you only use one S.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
good.
not my channel. That's not my channel. That's somebody else's channel.
Classic, Joe. Classic.
Okay, but this has been a good one. I liked it. We were kind of all over the place, and I was talking to Shadow earlier. It's like I have a little bit written down, but we're going to see where the quantum takes us. Whatever the universe wants, here we are.
You know, we got a lot out of it. The little guy got a lot out of it. And we'll just keep doing this every Saturday until we find that smoking gun.
Yeah, and
Right.
I do the quantum solos, and y'all are all welcome to do little solos related to anything we talk about here. Of course, they're your channels. You can do what you want, but let this be an inspiration. Try to.
I'll probably wait until October to do another weird episode on my
Yeah,
channel.
well, I mean, just a little one, like a 5-minute thing, like my little quantum solos that I put up this week. I try to put those up as things come to me, and well, you can see I've thought about these things. I don't have the research papers handy where I can say, oh well, this paper, but
just start taking notes and
yeah,
have your bullet points ready with the bare minimum fact, a couple of links, send people out to do their own research, because we can tell people all kinds of stuff, but until they do their own research, it doesn't mean a damn thing, in my opinion.
yeah.
What
You
you
know,
And I'm hoping to inspire people. Go ahead.
I was about to say, on the research aspect, is what you need there's a gentleman that does our table breakers with us called Kai, and that guy is just a untapped source of information about our hobby. The way that his brain thinks is absolutely amazing. You just somehow need to find the quantum needs to send you your version of it for this, and you guys would off to the fucking races. What do you think, Shadow?
Yeah, just what do you call it? Leave the hook out there, see if he bites.
I mean,
I don't know what all of his interests are. I know what a great many of them are, and if he's interested, cool, bring him on over.
So it's the Bell Witch. I was right. It was the Bell Witch.
Yeah, because that's the only local Bell Witch legend witch legend that we have here.
I was about to say, yeah. I know. She says she's related to her, and I'm not going to say that she is a liar, but I know I have somebody in my life who said that she is related to the Bell Witch.
Well, the
Cool.
family's still there. Yeah, the family's still there, but let me say, if half of what was reported was real, half of it's got to be one of the most prolific paranormal instances in American history.
That's funny. Yeah, no, I
But okay.
I
Yeah,
gotta look into it. But yeah, this could be a fun conversation.
yeah, the whole area is just I got a graveyard over here, a church over here, and that place is weird. Okay. I'm in the middle of weird, and that place takes it for weirdness. I don't think I've ever been in a weirder place outside of New Mexico. Land of enchantment for a reason.
Yeah.
But
that place is weird as hell.
Yeah.
I've only been through there a couple of times, and yeah.
So what I'm really hearing, though, guys, is he needs us to shut up so he can kill his show so he can go sleep.
Well, so we can all go sleep, because I gotta do a couple of things here. But
oh no,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch the Blake 7. You guys nuts?
I'm
season. I think I'm season 4, 3 or 4 episodes in. I'm almost at the end. Yeah. So I know what I'm doing.
Cool. All right. Well, y'all, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Pleasure as always, guys. Have a great week, and stay weird.
Yeah. And back to Earth now. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.